Sup, nerds? How you doing? New software here, so if it doesn't work, please be patient. Welcome back. This is the spoiler review, season review of the entire season of Secret Invasion. If you like the content you're doing here, give it a thumbs up. At 5,000 likes, Sleepy will do something special for us.
Nah.
And 2,000 subscribers, we'll give away a PS5. Hear more about that on the end. All right. Overall, we'll do episode 6 in the entire season. I give this a 3. This is the biggest piece of shit I've seen since She-Hulk. It is barely better than She-Hulk. Barely. Only because the special effects were better. That's what makes it better. That's what makes it better than She-Hulk. This is just pure garbage. There was nothing good about this episode. There was really nothing good about this entire season. I don't like anything about it. I'm glad this is over. I'm glad that we have no more Marvel content. I hope they delay Loki. I actually am starting to think it's time maybe for Marvel to go away.
Whoa!
I've just been bored. I've just been bored with it. It just doesn't excite me. It doesn't pull me in anymore.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
If you guys want to forgive it, I know you guys are getting that paycheck from Disney. I'm not. So if you guys want to forgive this crappy show, go ahead, be my guest.
Not supposed to out us like that. No, we had a deal. No, I overall give this season an 8. Like this, like you told we spoke on it a little earlier. This pretty much leads into New World Order. This was great. That final fight scene, not even only just seeing just alone the Avengers' power, but seeing all of the powers of the people who were at the end of the Battle of Earth, I think they called it. Like, I'm sorry, I enjoyed from episode 1 all the way through. Tony's getting used to the reactions. Yes, I love it. New software. Sorry, guys. Yeah, overall, just seeing, like, I have a little bit of a gripe. The fact that Gaia learned the power so quickly versus how long it took Gravik to learn them. But I enjoyed that entire fight. That fight scene alone was awesome for me. I was fucking, oh. And the fact that it was Gaia, I got played. Like, why did Gaia call fucking Fury's wife? Bro,
it wasn't Gaia that called Fury's wife. It wasn't Gaia that called. No, it was Fury that called Fury's wife.
Oh, see, but that's how good they played it. I thought it was him the whole time in there. The way she was acting, all the coughing, she's not even like she's doing all the trembling and shit. She can't feel that and is somehow reciprocating it to the T. To even fool Mr. Gravik himself.
Nah, but you didn't. I don't know, bro. I kind of knew that wasn't.
Thank you.
Like that wasn't him.
Thank you.
I was like, wait a minute. What is he acting like a bitch?
My nickname is what? Sleepy D.
No, I'm just saying because for real.
Yeah.
Come on, guy. Yeah, it's Secret Invasion. It's about the Skrulls, and you really thought that was Nick Fury.
Yeah.
No, I did. I knew that wasn't Nick Fury from the get-go.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, this ain't no surprise. This ain't Nick Fury. And then I seen that transfer. I'm like, wait a minute. So, it was kind of at first, it was surprising. I was like, who it was, probably that. But then I was like, it was Guy. And I'm like, it's pretty weak. I really didn't like that whole, to be honest, that whole,
fight.
No, the fight was nice. What I didn't like was that whole moment of, oh, psych, we fooled you. Well, if you've been watching the series, there shouldn't be no fooling at this point, So I kind of knew. I was like, wait a minute, that's kind of weak. So that I thought the fight was cool. A little bit of my complaint is that the whole thing was cool. It really wasn't the Super Skrull. It was basically they got injected with everybody's power, and while that's cool and everything, it really wasn't the super Skrull that I know from the comics. And to me, the fact that 2 people have that shit makes it not even special because in the comic there's only one motherfucker that's a super scroll, so to me that was kind of like bullshit. And like you said, Sleepy, especially when this guy wants this so bad and then this girl got it and whoops him, and you're like,
Yeah.
that's weak. So we were supposed to fear Gravik, and all this time this girl could have defeated him, and she got probably the powers like probably an hour ago.
Remember, they got all the powers at the same time.
See, so
and they're simultaneously fucking one arm this, one arm that, beating the fuck out of each other.
Yeah, see,
it was great.
To me,
I'm sorry.
How did she?
I knew you would like that.
Of course.
But to me, the problem is like, how did she adapt to it quicker than him? Like,
because she had more. She had more to go with because she had killed both parents, so she had more of a fight. And the fact that he was still shocked that wasn't Fury, that it was her.
That got him by surprise. I thought the whole another thing that I liked was the whole with the president thing, but then again I didn't like how the president goes around and goes, "Oh yeah, we're gonna raise wars against the Skrulls." That's
xenophobic, basically.
I thought that was stupid too. To be honest, I had to kind of agree with Tony. A little break probably will help the MCU at this point. And I think
break is needed.
I think the problem with it probably worked with the first phases, everything connected, because somehow you kind of believe that, because you're like, well, they didn't have this character, so they couldn't really tell the story. They couldn't do this because they couldn't do that. Right now, they could do everything that was comic accurate, and the fact that they decide to give us a show that is not even a page of Secret Invasion. What? That the Skrulls were shaped? Come on. Like, you really didn't have to name this show Secret Invasion. The fact that you try and it backfired on you, Disney, it's funny because it backfired on you. You tried to get people to watch this show, calling it Secret Invasion, and then you give them. To me, to be honest, it's not a bad show. It's just, if I had to rate it as Secret Invasion.
No, it didn't work.
If I had to rate it as Secret Invasion, this is like a 2 or a 3. Probably a 1, because this is not Secret Invasion. The fact that you only have
one superhero.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's the Skrulls. You decide to call it Secret Invasion. I just feel like it's a cop out. When you did Captain America Civil War, it makes sense in the whole thing. This does not make sense because, should have told, even if it wasn't a lot of time or a long time, because whatever money or whatever was the problem, you should have replaced some heroes. Would have been nice, at least a hero or two. That's on my point of view. I think I
agree.
To be honest, what do you think, Tony?
I think you used the worst hero of them all in War Machine, because I think he's the cheapest one to hire. That's why you put Don Cheadle in this. You took Samuel Jackson because he'll do anything for money. He'll appear in anything. It doesn't matter. You told a weak story with his wife. She had no purpose being in this episode. The president had no purpose being in the episode. Fallsworth character, the British chick, was perfect. I need to see more of her. I need more of her, but Gaia was boring. Talos was boring. The fact that Talos' wife got killed off screen, we should have saw that. It would have made it more dramatic. It was just meh. Forget even comparing it to the comics. What did they invade? Nothing. They became world heroes. World leaders. They became politicians, a talk show host. They replaced War Machine. No, it was a boring story. And this, I know it sets up things, but it makes me not want to see the setup. This makes me not want to see Captain America New World Order. This makes me not want to see the Thunderbolts. So the Marvels has to deliver 100% to keep me invested to see the next 2 chapters. The Deadpool 3 stuff, has me more excited to see him kill off the Fox universe than it does to see where they go forward with the Skrulls. They've just got boring. Like Shang-Chi gave me something in a post-credits scene. The Eternals, this is like the Eternals. It was boring. It was a wasted story. And to me, the Skrulls, thank God they're going to go away because they're boring villains. First they're sympathetic, and now they're villains all of a sudden because they couldn't find a home. Like there's no planet on Earth they could go. There's plenty of planets in the multiverse that you could have gone to. This is just bullshit.
Sleepy said it. That planet Thanos was living at. They went to that shit to kill Thanos.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were perfectly fine on it.
Yep. He was growing fruit, vegetables, everything.
And they were chilling over there. The Avengers landed and
now they're
walked in that. So the fact that you're saying you don't got a planet is weird. What do you think, Sleepy?
I have to agree. Like the biggest thing that they were pissed off about was not getting a planet. You know how many fucking planets Fury has been to? Probably enough.
Now remember, Fury hasn't been to that many planets. He was
Captain Marvel. Sorry,
Captain Marvel. There we go.
Sorry, that's the one I'm thinking. Captain Marvel's been to so many planets, and now all of a sudden the Kree want peace talks out of fuck all nowhere.
Because that will take place in the Marvels movie.
So that leads up to the Marvel movie. Right. So I can't wait to see the Marvels movie. Personally, I'm just here for the humor. I like it. I always see the MCU as a separate comic book run from what we've had. If when you completely take away all of that, you actually enjoy the show for what it is. Because I see it as my own comic book line I'm reading for the first time. I don't see all that other stuff, which I want to read, because if you're telling me this is that bad because of what's in that comic, I can't wait to read it. I love the fucking reactions in this, dude. That just sent me.
No, there's nothing about this I want to see in a comic book. This is the boring part of the comic book.
Of course.
Marvel has become the DCEU.
This is the setup.
This is boring. This setup is boring. No.
Wow,
Iron Man. I do not like Iron Man 2 and 3. It was a better setup than this crappy show.
Bulls have better writers. Respectfully.
Nah, I don't think it's better writers. I think they just ran the gambit. They don't know what to do. They got drunk on success and thought they could put out any crap and people would watch. But the people are pushing back. Like I said in our other video, that 2020 hurt this franchise and this brand by not having any content. The writer's strike is going to hurt this brand not having any content in 2024. So I just think it's not superhero fatigue. They might just be done. All good stories come to an end. Maybe it is time to end this for a couple of years. Remember, Star Wars hasn't released a movie in ages. It took TV shows to bring them back. Maybe we're at that point now where Marvel needs to go away and take a longer break. You know, it's just my opinion. Go ahead, Jose.
It's fair, 100%.
I think, to be honest, I kind of have to agree with Tony. I think, to be honest, a lot of what's hurting this is the fact that, like Tony said, the pandemic hurted this franchise, and the writer's strike is gonna hurt this this franchise too. I think being connected is really not helping it out, and I think, like Tony said, they should probably go away for a couple of years and contain stories, tell stories that last a couple of years, and then boom, you're done. Like that, tell the story with the same actors for those couple of years, but after that, just reset it again. And I know people's not gonna like that, but at the same time, it's not like people's liking what you're giving them right now. So,
True.
You need to find a way to make this more interesting, because right now what you're doing is a whole bunch of convoluted bullshit. And the fact that there's so many films, so many shows into it already makes it hard for a new person to walk into it. So you're like, damn, you had to watch so many hours to finally catch up to this. Then, some of the things you
Yeah, that's
watch
tough.
here doesn't even interest you. Like you don't, you're gonna tell a person, well, if I was to skip Secret Invasion because I don't like it, but it sets up this movie. So then a person's like, oh, let me just watch it. And then a person watch it and they probably don't like it. And they're like, damn it, I wasted
That
that
sounds
time.
familiar.
And it's a lot of problem that I think, to be honest, I think they need to, taking a place from, wrap it up, and rush this thing a little bit and finish it and give it a couple of years and restart it again. But at the same time, they keep like adding on it, adding on it, adding on it, adding on it. You're losing the older fans. You're losing them because now a lot of the shit doesn't make sense. And then the newer fans are not flocking in to the newer stuff, or are really not following your shows, or are not really following your movies. My brother, example, he watched the Infinity Saga. He only seen a couple of things from this saga. But what do you think, Tony?
I think maybe sequelitis is affecting everything this year. Fast 10 tanked at the box office. Mission Impossible 7 is tanking at the box office. Maybe people are just tired of the MCU, unless it's 100% perfect, where everybody likes it, a la Guardians 3. People just don't want to see it anymore. Maybe we've reached sequel fatigue, not so much superhero fatigue.
That's
Go
fair.
ahead.
No,
That's
it's true.
very fair. That's very true.
It's true what Tony's saying. Let's review a little bit of the pattern. Superhero movies are not making, but then you got Barbie. Barbie making money. Everybody flocking to that. Now, I haven't seen it, but don't get me wrong. I would like to see it because they made it hype. They're like, what the hell?
Let's go.
What the hell? So it's probably true what Tony's saying. That it's not probably superhero fatigue. But
The reactions are great, dude. I love this software.
But probably that's not the problem. The whole superhero sequel is like they're tired of seeing the same thing. And when they see something fresh like Mario, Barbie, there's been
Oppenheimer.
Avatar, even though it was a sequel, it took so long for that sequel to come out that people wanted it. Top Gun, there you go. It was a sequel.
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible.
No, Mission Impossible did make money though.
No.
So I can say this guy, Mission Impossible has great reviews. Didn't make any money.
Dang.
John Wick made money because it's in Chapter 4 and it's allegedly the last of him, and he died in it. Spoiler alert. He dies at the end of John Wick 4.
Oh, wait. I forgot. We're confirmed for a John Wick 5 when he was with his wife.
So, but no, remember, that's a prequel.
That's true. That's damn it.
Prequel.
I want to win so bad.
No, but it's just, you only get so long to do this. Everything tires out. The difference with Star Wars is that there was so many decades in between franchises that people gave you time to either love it or hate it, and then once you missed it, you craved it more.
True.
Maybe Marvel does need to go away for a couple of years and regroup. Come back after the Secret Wars phase. Take 2 years off. No content. Make us crave it more. Make us want it more.
Yeah.
And then maybe it'll be better. But there is no way. I'm just shocked that I knew you would like every part you liked.
Of course.
As I was watching.
Of course. I'm a very predictable person.
I just find this show to be garbage. To me, this show is She-Hulk with better special effects.
But we have to remember.
Yeah.
I did like She-Hulk.
Right. And I know.
And it's mainly because
we didn't fire you because of that. We let you stay on.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you for accepting everyone's opinions. That's what we do here. Even though we disagree, I still love you guys.
Let's go one more topic before we end this. The rumors of the Marvels being delayed till May if this strike isn't settled in the next couple of weeks. What do you guys think?
I'm cool with it.
I got a lot of to talk, and I don't know how far we're into this, but uh, at this point, are you surprised if they delay it? At
No,
this,
I think if they start delaying all things, people are going to go away.
I think
Remember,
so too.
I said it on a different podcast episode. Me and you have sports to watch. Sleepy
Mhm.
has gaming to watch. A lot of people will not come back.
That's
To
true.
not just Marvel, but just to all of Hollywood. A lot of people just going to say, fuck it. Y'all go on
Goodbye.
strike. I'll just go somewhere else. And by the time you come back, you've lost the audience.
Mm-hmm.
You know, since the world has opened back up, streaming numbers have gone down because people don't have to stay in the house and watch things now. I can go to a park. I can go to the gym. I can go out and do things. I can go to a concert. I don't need to watch streaming. And now all the streaming services are basically dying. So if this strike goes on another month, I think Hollywood is dead as we know it. Sleepy?
Sleepy.
But wouldn't that play off of what you said just in the last topic though? Us craving, we wouldn't have the movie theater. We don't know what it's like to not have it. So us not being able to go to that movie theater for that year or two, wouldn't you think that would make you want to go when it comes back out to get that experience again?
Jose?
But the problem is that me and what Tony's saying, that finish the story and then take a break. If you live the story right now, people lose interest. It's not about, it depends on what time it is. Like at that point, yeah, give it a break. At this point, you shouldn't take a break because you're
Yeah,
losing fans
that's
already.
true.
And if you start delaying stuff, you're gonna keep losing more fans, and they're not gonna get interested. And like Tony said, they'll find something new. They'll
That's
find
true.
something new, and that'll be sad.
Think about it. WandaVision, Loki, and season one, and Falcon and the Winter Soldier were big because it had been a year and a half, 2 years since we had content. Black
Mhm.
Widow was big opening weekend because it was just one, getting it back into a theater and getting it exclusively on streaming if you paid for it.
Mhm.
Now, years into that, people don't keep the streaming subscriptions. They're only getting what they're like. Think about it. Cable TV from 10 years ago till now is pretty much dead.
Yeah.
All the sports leagues are talking about getting their own streaming services and basically killing off what's left of ESPN and Fox Sports. Me and Jose will go get those streaming apps for the sports leagues.
Mm-hmm.
I'll
Yeah.
let most of the content apps like Disney, Netflix, one of those are going to suffer. That's why Amazon made the NFL deal, because they want to stay relevant with sports. Netflix will be in the next negotiations, I guarantee you, to get sports because Disney already has ESPN Plus. But if
Mhm.
you take Marvel when Marvel left before, it was on a high coming out of Endgame. If you take it away now, coming off of this show, you may never get people back. You need to
True.
get not us back. You need to get the casuals back
Mm-hmm.
to where it's an event to where you have to go. People had to go see Mario because every generation had played a version of Mario, Donkey Kong. All of the Barbie people made it an event. Christopher Nolan is Christopher Nolan. That's why Oppenheimer had nothing to do with Oppenheimer. It's a Christopher Nolan film. Marvel right now, that used to be Marvel. That's not Marvel anymore.
And Oppenheimer's all over the news.
But think about it. Marvel, I'll let you in 1 second, Jose. That used to be only Marvel where people wanted to go see stuff.
Yeah, that is true. That is
And now
true.
it's gone.
Endgame. Remember Endgame?
Yeah.
When Endgame came out, that was huge, bro. Like you needed to be there.
Mhm. Yep.
You needed to be there,
I
bro.
wish I
It
was
was
there.
it was amazing. But what Tony said, it has to find a way, and this strike ain't gonna be done anytime soon. I see stuff in the internet that I don't know if it's true, but I'll say it here where they're doing like like have you seen that they're releasing like WandaVision a steel book, but they're
Yeah.
releasing it as steel book, but it doesn't have a CD or nothing. So like that, they don't have to pay the actors residual. So basically, for the
Damn.
collectors, they're giving you the collector, the DVD collection, like with the thing, the steel book with the things inside and everything. So as a collector, you're getting that, but you're not getting a CD or nothing, because if they would put a CD there, they would have to give actors and the show writers and all that residuals. And so they do it like that, so the collectors could be happy, they make money, and they don't have to share that money.
That's stingy.
Exactly, and this
Stingy
ain't gonna,
as fuck.
and that
That's
ain't
already
gonna.
you already made that deal. Now you're burying yourself even more. What the fuck?
Tony, go ahead.
And that is why the strike is going to go on for a long time. Studios are playing hardball because that is why they are delaying content, and that is why they are going to push content back, because they can afford to wait it out. The
That's
actors
true.
and the writers, unless you're a star, cannot. But the other actors who are rich seem to be donating money to keep this going for a long time. So that's why I'm starting to think if this ain't settled by Labor Day, 2024 is gone. If it ain't already filmed and done, 2024 is gone. All the content that was supposed to come out in 24 will probably get pushed till 25. Mm-hmm. And I think, or longer. Because with AI, you don't really need an actor there. You can create the face and the voice. You can just, I'll just get any artist to draw it, something that looks like, for example, Scarlett Johansson, and put it out there.
And get animated.
I can get anybody to give me a voice. The computer can create that. So I think we're seeing the beginning of the end of Hollywood as we know it. So if I was, I think sports are going to increase because the athletes don't go away. That pipeline is constantly coming in because there are a bunch of little kids around the world that want to be a professional athlete.
Yep.
That are 10 times more so than want to be an actor or a writer. Mm-hmm. And I think sports will get bigger and bigger as Hollywood now starts to shrink. And it's sad because Jose will tell you we were so geeked after Endgame. We thought back then it could never end. And we're in the stages of the blip right now where it's all about to go away.
Yep.
Damn COVID. But that makes me think, if this is what we got after COVID, what are we going to get after the writer's strike?
We'll have to see and find out.
Right.
Sleepy. Nothing
we'll
else
have to wait it out. Yep.
Yeah,
like I said,
guys make me see things from a different POV.
Think about it. Officially today, all NFL training camps opened. Officially. In another week or two, college football and all the rest of the fall college sports will begin their training camp. I have something for the next couple of weeks.
In a couple of weeks, the World Series of baseball and all that, bro. Right. Baseball playoffs, all that.
And then as the baseball playoffs start, the NBA starts.
Yeah.
So and then it'll push. And think about it. We have arguably the first or second best NBA player in the world in our home city. So I have something to be excited for. I have something to go see. And it will push. It'll push me away from going to a movie. I won't miss the movie. Because and then I can argue football with everybody. Basketball. I'm not a baseball fan, but I watch the World Series because it's the World Series. Think about it. I guarantee you there's some hot game coming out in the next couple of months that the two of you are going to want to play and
Spider-Man.
And there we go. And that's what I'm saying. Hollywood, even though this is specifically a Marvel show, Hollywood needs to fix this or they'll never get the content. They haven't recovered from the pandemic. You're not going to recover from this strike.
That's true.
And they need to hurry up.
Well, Tony.
Because if we walk away from it, forget the casuals, you got to keep us involved.
Mm-hmm.
And the closer, like I said, it's that time of the year where we watch football. I could be good without it. I want to see all the stuff come out and be settled and everybody get paid fairly in a living wage. But the studios have no desire to do that now.
No, it doesn't seem like they want to fix this problem.
Nope.
It doesn't. And with that, it's a sad moment and time in history. Like, this is going to get, like Tony said, this is the beginning of the end for Hollywood. Whatever happens from here, if they fix or if they don't, at the end of the day, this is going to be marked moment in history that is going to change everything for good or bad. And it's something that, like Tony said, we never expected, because coming off of Endgame, this was what we wanted. We were like, damn, they couldn't do wrong. And they did. And we're here. And like Tony said, I don't think they could withstand another hit like that. So with all being said, it's going to be an interesting couple months. So if people want to follow us on that journey and what we think, just subscribe, because it's going to be a couple of interesting months where we're going to be giving our view on this Hollywood strike and in this Hollywood moment. But what do you think?
Guess what? We will be transitioning to Supreme Nerds Gaming and Supreme Nerd Sports. So our channel's still going to be out there. We're going to be introducing new things in the next couple of weeks. Like getting 5,000 likes. It's like getting 5,000 likes on a video to see Sleepy do something. Or like getting 2,000 subscribers to give away a free PS5. We'll see. But stay tuned. Deuces, nerds.